Little Lopez.
Yes.
Do you really think that Donald Trump can do everything he said in 4 years?
He's done a heck of a lot in 36 hours.
Yeah, he did, but the rest of the things are just hard.
Let's put it this way, if anyone can, he can.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Camera's on, everybody. Take out a little piece of paper for me. Please write down 2 things you've learned from your reading of The Story of a Soul. I really want your cameras on, please. You need to attend class, please.
Mine's broken.
Uh-huh. So I see that there are cameras around there. How come I can't see them there?
They're already there. I don't know.
See them there?
I know. I mean, this one's slower.
How can that be? Not supposed to have any speed problems anymore, are we? There's one.
Oh, yeah. Now they're here.
Except Bella was tuning in and then disappeared.
Yeah. Wait, can they hear us?
Can you hear me? Yes, they can. Bella, with our cameras on, we're writing down 2 things that we've learned so far from the story of the soul of St. Therese. Any 2 things that you like. You should be at least 50 pages in. We've got like till the end of the month to finish it. So 10 days. 10 pages a day. Is that right? Have you read anything?
I'm in the introduction.
What?
I still am reading the introduction.
Introduction. Have you read anything? You read anything?
No, yeah.
Thank you for saying it honestly. I've got some confessions that people aren't keeping up and aren't reading it. So, you know, I can treat you like fourth graders and have a little quiz every day to make sure you're keeping up. Or what I'm trying to do is treat you like, you know, half adults, where I assign it and you do it. I'm assigning no other homework in religion except to read that book. 10 pages a day should take you 10 to 15 minutes. So now they're frozen on that side.
Yeah, which is weird. Hold on.
All right, Nina, what'd you write?
I had, if Jesus were to favor all souls equally, his spiritual garden would lose the variety of each beautiful flower. And then the other thing, each person has the ability to choose the option of suffering for him in lesser or greater ways.
What a beautiful way to start us off. Thank you very much. Hey, Terry, 2 things. Little flower.
I just wrote when she was little, she had a bad temper, and she had a really deep connection with her father after her mom died.
Oh, good point. Coco, have you read any?
No, I did not bring the book with me, so no.
Yeah, you could have read it in the car, I guess. That's a shame. Anya, what'd you get, honey?
Therese loved her 4 sisters very much, and it was very hard on her when Pauline entered Carmel.
Thank you. Mary?
Saint Therese wanted from a young age to be a Carmelite nun because her sister Pauline was going to be one. And she wanted to pick the name Sister Therese of the Child Jesus, and when she entered, one of the sisters suggested the name without Therese having said anything about it.
That's something else. Bridget, what'd you have?
I said that it's the little things that count sacrifices here that are better and more meaningful to God than big, like, you know, the guy in the temple with the 2, thank God I'm not that kind.
Right.
And also prayer, God hears all our prayers, so we have to say meaning and devotion and focus, because it's not just words, and you're talking to God.
Very good.
And there's, what do you say, like silent prayer?
Like
What's it called?
meditation.
Yeah, it's more,
Mental
it's
prayer.
more.
Than vocal prayer.
Yeah.
Mental prayer is more effective than vocal prayer. Right. That's because you can say words. We say words all the time and don't think about it and don't and only half mean it, and yeah. Bella, what'd you got?
I said that she loved her family and her sister, and she hated whenever she sinned or offended them, that she would like go and cry and apologize. And she was talking about that Jesus had love and things like the little flowers, and those are equally as important.
Very good. Thank you. All right. So press on. We need to finish by February 3rd, first, second, third, February 3rd. We're going to be starting Dark Night of the Soul. It's a small book, but it should rattle your cages pretty good. This is not as small a book, but it's a little more, it's a little lighter. But since we're moving towards Lent, I figured we'd do Dark Night. And then we're going to talk about the stages of growing up spiritually. I may just PDF you that book because it's hard to find. It's Garrett Goulegrange, who's a theologian. We'll talk about that later. All right. We were on page, my bookmark's on 285. And so far, we need to know some of these Slavic saints, and we need to be able to match the saint with their country. You're going to need to be able to write a paragraph on Charlemagne and a paragraph on St. Ansgar. So the test is coming up in about 2 weeks. Yeah, or maybe not even 2 weeks. Maybe end of next week we'll have a test.
Is it gonna be like the last test paragraphs?
I'm gonna have some matching on this one because there's a lot of minor saints. I shouldn't call them minor saints. There's a lot of saints whom we don't have a lot of information in this book, and I don't really need you to research it, but I want you at least to have, if I say a saint's name, you can say the country and the time frame.
Okay.
Okay, so it's going to be at least, there's going to be probably 3 essays, and you don't get a choice this time, and then some matching. So I've already told you 2 of the essays. So what you could do in your spare time is write out a paragraph about Charlemagne and write out a paragraph about St. Ansgar and start studying it, and that way you're ready, and you already have it all committed to memory because you've already written that paragraph, and then you just have to reproduce it on the day of the test. The third paragraph is going to be about the Greek schism. We have to be able to enunciate some particular facts about the Greek schism so that we can understand what happened, because it's important. But right now we're still in the Slavic region, and we've talked about Russia and Czechoslovakia and Poland, and now we're going to Croatia. So I'm near the bottom of 285. The Croatians, who had settled in Dalmatia about 640, joined the church in great numbers under Prince Porza before the end of the 7th century. The conversion of the rest took place early in the 9th century. The Slavons in Carniola, Carinthia, and Styria were converted in the course of the 8th century, chiefly through the efforts of the bishops of Salzburg. And where's Salzburg? It's Austria, which is on the border of Germany. So what St. Boniface started kept going and had its, the ripple effect. And now we're in Croatia. Can you point to Croatia for me?
Where is it?
Near the Baltic. Maybe it's more than that. No.
I don't know.
Hold on, we're trying to find Croatia on the map. Austria, Slovenia, Croatia.
Oh.
So here's Germany, here's Austria, here's Croatia. There's Bosnia, Herzegovina. So it's Germany, then Austria, then Croatia. Kind of a long way to go when you don't have a car. You know what I mean? These people travel on foot.
Wait, they don't have a horse yet?
Horses, they have horses. We still possess an interesting document belonging to the end of the 8th century, which describes the labors of the missionaries sent by St. Virgil, the Irish bishop of Salzburg, to pagan Slavs settled on the border of his bishopric. So please remember our Irish progenitors of all these good saints coming after them. Remember St. Columba and Columbanus and the Isle of Iona. Don't forget about all that. And now we've got an Irish bishop in Austria who's sending missionaries to Croatia. The Serbs, okay, and then right under Croatia is Serbia. The Serbs, who had settled southeast of the Croatians at the beginning of the 7th century, were compelled by the Emperor Heraclius to receive baptism in the 600s. Their conversion lasted only as long as their subjection to the Greek Empire. In 827, they declared themselves independent and returned at the same time to the worship of their ancient gods. When they were again subdued by the Greeks for 40 years, they resumed the practice of the Christian religion. Christianity was brought to the Bulgarians by Byzantine missionaries. Prince Boris received baptism in 864, the Emperor Michael III acting as his sponsor, and ordered his subjects to follow his example, which most of them did. Boris long wavered between Rome and Constantinople. At his request, Latin missionaries, Bishop Ermanric of Pasua at their head, appeared at his court in 866, and about the same time, he was in correspondence with Pope Nicholas I, who advice he had asked on some of the difficult moral and social problems which naturally arise during a transition from paganism to Christianity. The Pope's reply to the 106 questions and petitions is one of the most important ecclesiastical documents of the early Middle Ages. That's Nicholas I. Boris also corresponded with Pope Hadrian II in regard to the appointment of an archbishop, but he finally yielded to the importunities of the Greeks and accepted an archbishop of their choice in 870. The conversion of the Wends. The Slavs who dwelt within the limits of the present German Republic and went by the name of Wends became Christians as they were incorporated with the German Empire. The Emperor Otto the Great founded 7 bishoprics among them. Their conversion was completed by St. Otto of Bamberg, one of the most successful missionaries of all times. In 1 year, 1124, he founded 11 churches and baptized 22,165 pagans. The Prussians and Lithuanians were not converted till the 13th and 14th centuries. I don't know who the modern-day Wends are. It says part of the German Empire, but I don't know where the Wends lived in the limits of the present German Republic. Finally, Christianity in Hungary. After the crushing defeat at the hands of Otto the Great in 955, the wild Magyars gave up their raids into the neighboring countries and displayed their readiness to welcome the Christian teaching. Under Duke Gisa, 972 to 997, St. Wolfgang, later Bishop of Ratisbon, and other Bavarian missionaries preached with considerable success among them, especially after Gisa himself and all the members of his family had received baptism. Gisa's son, St. Stephen, who married Gisela, the sister of the Emperor of St. Henry II, is the real apostle of the Hungarians, St. Stephen. He declared war on idolatry, procured the establishment of 10 bishoprics, founded several monasteries, placed his country under the special protection of the Blessed Virgin, and drew up a Christian code of laws for his people. Currently, Hungary is one of the most Catholic behaving countries next to Poland in the world. In 998, after putting down a formidable pagan insurrection, he assumed the royal title. 2 years later, he obtained from Pope Sylvester II and the Emperor Otto III confirmation of this act of sovereignty. Sylvester at the same time sent him a consecrated crown and conferred on him the title of Apostolic King. I've never heard that title before, have you? Apostolic King? Unfortunately for the welfare of his country, Stephen died without an heir. The talented and saintly Emmerich, the only of his 5 sons to reach manhood, was killed by a wild boar in 1031. During the civil strife that followed on the death of Stephen, paganism got the upper hand once more, and much of the great king's work was undone. Churches were devastated or destroyed, the priests exiled, and heathen temples set up. Martyr blood, too, flowed for a time. It was not till the reign of St. Ladislaw, in 1077, that the power of paganism was completely broken and the triumph of Christianity assured. Okay, that's all we have time for this morning. We're on short periods today. I think what we should do is make a chart of the country and then the saint and maybe a average year, a roundabout year. So everybody do that for me. So it's covering pages, be specific here, 275 to 286. So the last 11 pages, we maybe mentioned 7 countries. All I need is the country, the name of the saint, primary saint, and then a roundabout year.
But when is that here?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Now we'll take a 2-minute break, just 2 minutes, and then we need to catch up with we've got some people who need to catch up with the story.